also, ladies, it's okay to crash out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's okay to
If you have
crash
that
out.
instinct to crash out, by all means, crash.
Hi, welcome to
Hi.
another episode of Base Buddies. I'm your host, Lay. Today's episode is a very special episode. I mean, all of my episodes are special. I have Miss Alessia here with me joining today. She is in San Diego, California, and her spouse just recently left for deployment, and she has a baby. All right, Miss Alessia. Well, let's get to it. Tell me about yourself, like where you're from, how old you are, all that good stuff.
Well, do you think I am? I'm kidding. So I just turned 28 in October. I've been a military spouse for about 4 years, five,
hmm
and we've been in San Diego pretty much ever since he got out of boot camp. So ever
Wow.
since, this is our second deployment. And yeah, I'm
That's
I'm just excited for
crazy.
it to be over, right?
Wow. So, how long have you and your spouse been in this military lifestyle? And what originally brought you guys into it?
His dad and his grandpa are Navy. So he's a third generation Navy, but he didn't originally want to go into the Navy. He was actually training to go into the Marines when I met him. And his version of the story is that he didn't end up going through with the Marines because he met me.
hmm
So then he stayed behind, and then he wanted to go Air Force, and that was taking too long. And I was just like, how about you just go Navy? Your dad was in it, your grandpa was in it, maybe you'll like it. And here we are 5 years
That's
later,
that's
or four, almost
awesome.
five.
That's awesome. How did you guys meet?
We met, I lived in Pennsylvania. So I'm originally from Pennsylvania. Well, we're both from Italy, southern Italy. But I grew up in Pennsylvania, and then he moved to the United States with his family when he was like 17. So I met him when he moved to Jersey when he was 17, but I didn't meet him until he was like 20.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we met in 2019, and it was at my aunt's Christmas Eve party.
That's crazy. So was he like a family friend?
So our families didn't know each other in Italy, but then when they moved over, his mom became really best friends with my aunt. And so that's how they got invited to the Christmas Eve party. And then we didn't talk right away because he was really shy.
Yeah.
And I am like a year or two older than him. So I didn't really
Yeah.
pay attention to him too much. But a couple of months after, when we hung out, and then,
Mm-hmm. Everything's history.
everything's this way. Now I have a 1-year-old.
Oh, he said throw it back about. No. So you said you guys are from southern Italy. So do you guys know, like, are you guys fluent in Italian together? Shut
It's
up.
actually
That's,
hard for us not to speak Italian. We
yeah.
speak Italian all the time at
hmm
home, 24/7 most of the time. The only time I'll ever like speak English with him is if I'm really mad. That's the best way for me to like explain myself
Yeah.
because his Italian's better than mine. Like my
Okay.
family migrated over when I was 2. So I
Okay.
basically grew up here. I don't have an accent, but
hmm
I also grew up teaching myself Italian.
It's
He already
amazing.
kind of knew it. He grew up in it. So he
Yeah.
kind of taught me, and my Italian's a lot better now compared to what it was when I met him. So it's fun. But then we hang out with friends and it's hard not to because we have to like translate. So like at home we're
Ah,
so used to speaking Italian, but then when we go out, we have to speak in English because then otherwise people are like, hello, obviously.
girl. So you've met him since he was basically, or you guys were basically 17, 18 years old.
No, he was okay, so it was back in 2019. Oh gosh.
Cause
He
that.
probably would have been 19, 20, and I probably would have been 21.
Oh, okay. So you've known him since you were 21 and he was 20. And was he already in the military or no? He joined
No.
after.
So when I met him, he was like in the process of training for the Marines. So he had
Oh,
a
wow.
train assigned to him where they would
Oh,
work out every day.
yeah.
And mind you, he lived in Jersey at the time, and I was in PA.
Wow.
He would text me like, "Oh, I'm about to go train, blah blah blah." So I thought he was gonna go Marines, but I think it all worked out for the better because the Navy is
Yeah.
more like I think he.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have liked being a Marine.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. My husband is Joe Navy. I'm telling you. He's very Joe Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it
So
has its pros and cons.
it does. So my husband, he's very, oh my God. I could go. It's another episode. My husband is literally the best person I've ever met in my entire life. I could not see myself not being with him. And the fact that it translates so well in his work life too. Everybody at work loves him. Not because
Mhm.
he's a people pleaser, but more of so the opposite. He treats people with a lot of respect and he helps people in every way, shape, or form, but he also has his boundaries. So I think he has a very good level of he knows how to balance it in a way, but of course nobody's perfect.
I love
But
that.
yeah, no, but he's such an amazing person. Anyways, what were we talking about?
And our bands are so great.
Yeah, they are. Oh my God, I could literally go into so much detail about how much I love my man, and I'm sure you can too, girl, because it's so rare to find really good people that you can
And
build your forever with.
that's so important in the military lifestyle
Yeah.
too. If you don't have a good partner, the
Hmm.
military lifestyle is going to be 100 times harder.
Harder.
And it can be traumatic too for certain families.
Exactly.
I've seen multiple people in my neighborhood who I've gotten the chance to meet and all. And some of their stories just breaks my heart because I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't deserve that. No one deserves that. But it's also not fair to you to keep going through it. So
Exactly.
some of them have to set those boundaries, and that ruins families. And it just
Hmm.
makes me sad because people really need to work on themselves before they get into a relationship, let alone
Yeah.
a military relationship.
If you're in a regular relationship, that's already harder than itself because it's already two people trying to figure out a life together. But then you add the extra stress of being in the military, which basically the military takes away your partner for long periods of time and it tests your relationship like no other test. And it continues to test your relationship based on the amount of times that he's left or the amount of times that they've had to stay after work or all of these things. And it takes two, right? So you could have like a really amazing partner as the service member and then the spouse is just terrible or vice versa, like the spouse is amazing and then the service member is awful. You kind of have to have that balance of just being really good for each other.
Mm-hmm.
That way you
Communication too is such a big
exactly,
key. Such a big
exactly,
key.
exactly. Okay, we kind of just got off gears for a second.
You
So
knew this was gonna happen anyway.
I know, Todd. No, we always have such good conversation. So you have a baby. Congratulations, it's a little
Thank you.
kitty. How old is she?
She's almost gonna be 15 months. I know.
She's brand new.
She was. Now she thinks she's a big girl.
Now she thinks she's grown.
Hmm. She'll be like,
So,
"No, mommy," and I'm like, "Okay."
excuse me?
I know, and I'm like, I know where this sass is coming from. I'm not gonna take it personal, but Lord have mercy.
So now that your spouse is deployed, how has motherhood been like for you?
It's a bit of a, how do I call this? My situation is different because our last deployment, I was 7 months pregnant when
Hmm.
he left for the first deployment last year.
Hmm.
So I went through my pregnancy pretty much alone because he was in and out most of the time. And then by the time I was 7 months pregnant, he was going on deployment. And then I was also a high risk pregnancy, and we didn't know if he would be back for the birth or not. So it was a waiting game literally until 2 days before my induction. And
Wow.
they ended up bringing him home because I was high risk. And I kept sending letters. Like I kept just red cross,
Yeah.
red cross.
Yeah. Wow.
And so he was able to come home for 2 weeks, and then he had to go back on deployment. So then my first 3 months postpartum were obviously by myself because then my mom had left the same time he did. So I was alone with a 3-month-old. To me, it feels normal. It feels like my normal because that's what I'm used to. Like
Right.
him being gone more than he is being home, which sucks. But that's just part of sea duty, you know. This is our last one, and then we'll go
Yeah.
shore, and then we'll be able to have some time to ourselves, which we're all super excited about.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm happy for that. I'm really, really happy for that.
Mm.
That's insane. Him just being continuously gone. And then 3 months postpartum, you were by yourself.
It was hard. It really was because I was navigating a new routine, a new family dynamic, which obviously it's not something I would recommend. It was hard, but I wouldn't say it was impossible because I also feel like a lot of military spouses go through that.
Did you get any support? Did you do outreach programs?
I was really blessed with really good like neighbor community, like where I live. So
Mm,
I've made some really good friends in my neighborhood that have helped me tremendously through my pregnancy and postpartum. Actually, that
that is
first
so
week that they were
nice.
all gone, I think two of my neighbors came over, not at the same time, but in two different instances. And my one neighbor brought me breakfast. She
Mm,
stayed until I finished my shower and I dried my hair. And it's things like that really help
mm-hmm.
because it's something as simple as taking a shower that
Yeah.
you wish you could take. But that independence is gone because you don't have that other person to depend on. Like, hey, watch the baby while I take a shower, or here's the baby while I go do something for myself. You don't
Right.
have that opportunity. So just like, okay, I have to do it while she's sleeping, or I have to do it
Yeah.
while she's in the bathroom with me. So she was just attached to my hip, which then was kind of hard to navigate when he did come back, because then I
Mm-hmm.
kind of got separation anxiety from her since I was with
Yeah.
her all the time, like all the time. That
Yeah.
I was all she knew. Well, I'm all she knows. So,
Right.
that part is hard, but I have to give him credits. When he came back from deployment, he helped as much as he could.
Of course.
And it won't be perfect. Reintegration is hard in itself, but to have a 3-month-old that you then have to navigate, you have to come back from deployment and suddenly you're in dad mode. You don't have time to, and I told him that
Reintegrate.
you don't have
Yeah.
time to decompress. Like, do it on the way home, but once you come home, when
Your dad.
your daddy,
Yeah.
you know,
Your dad.
he did a great job, and he still does to this day. He was meant to be a dad girl. So,
I love that.
but don't get me wrong, it was hard.
Yeah.
It's hard being parents. Ever. It's the most
Yeah.
rewarding and best thing ever. But navigating a deployment and military life,
Yeah.
and also a marriage, and on top of that, a baby. And people still have their traumas that they're healing from. We all have imperfections that we have to work on, but as long as you communicate and you put in effort, it gets the job done.
Exactly. So when did he leave? And how are you truly feeling right now?
I'm doing better than I thought I would be, to be honest, which I don't know if it's just because this is our second deployment, which they never get easier, but they
Right.
become more manageable. And especially when you have kids, your days are just so filled that you don't even have time to look at yourself in the mirror. So by the time I'm done, it's like already 8 p.m. I'm like, okay. Day's over. One last day.
Perfect.
Hello. Man.
Yeah, I know. When my husband was deployed, he deployed for 11 months. I was a complete wreck. And it was from one day to another. He was sitting at home and I was just doing my nails or something random. I don't know. And he gives me a call. He calls me, oh, yeah, it's just him giving me like a midday call. I answer and he's like, hey, just letting you know that I'm deploying for 11 months and 2 months. And I'm like, what? Yeah. I was like, this is literally the worst way for you to tell me that you're leaving.
Okay.
Literally, all right, great. So 11 months was our first deployment ever. And it was absolutely crazy the way that it happened because one, they just told him from one day to another. And then after that, I literally had to wait 2 months to figure my life out. Am I going to stay in Whidbey Island where I have no one? Or do I go back home across the freaking country to be with my family for 11 months and just have a temporary home for 11 months? So we just decided to go back home because there's no reason as to why I should stay. Yeah, went back home.
It's easier because you don't have kids. So it's easier to just pick up and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back home. I'm gonna have my family, my friends. Moving with babies or kids in general is just insane.
And
It's a struggle.
especially for a mom, because I feel like a mom has more than just I don't know how to say this because when you're a dad, you could just be dad. You could just be dad. And then with mom, you have to be mom, you have to be dad, you have to be teacher, you have to be homemaker, you have to be nurse when the time comes. You have to be everything under the sun. You have to be absolutely every single role, and I think that moms deserve so much credit. I honestly, personally, I think y'all should get paid. But if you're a stay-at-home
Dude, tell
mom,
me about it.
if you're a stay-at-home mom, I think that the government
Oh
should.
my
Did you
God.
know? Oh my God, did you know that I think it's Sweden or Switzerland, they offer 2 years of maternity leave?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I was like, what
Dude,
the? That is a country that loves their women. That is a country that literally prioritizes women, motherhood, children. Isn't that insane?
it's sad because a lot of women aren't even ready to go back to work at 6 weeks. Like imagine a baby
Exactly.
6 weeks old. It's trauma.
Ima exactly. And imagine first leaving your 6 week old, then having to deal with postpartum and now work. Because if you don't go to work after 6 weeks, you literally get fired. Because this
No
company,
option.
no
And when
freaking
you go back
options.
to work too, they don't take into consideration that you're 6 weeks postpartum. It's like, okay, you're back to work. Everything's normal.
Exactly.
Mind you,
Yeah.
most women are still bleeding after their delivery by 6 weeks.
Which which is crazy because the military offers, I think, like 6 months of maternity leave. I'm not quite sure for women, but for
Yeah,
men,
so
it's
it's
three
like
months.
I have a couple friends of mine that have gone through this, but generally, yes, it's like 6 months, but I don't know if the maternity leave it's 6 months or if it's like 3 months plus 3 months of, I think it's severance, something with the C. My neighbor was talking to me about it just the other day. But they have 6 months, whereas dads, they now have 3 months compared to the 2 weeks.
I mean, there's some civilian companies that actually respect and love women
I
compared
agree.
to compared to other companies that don't necessarily prioritize the well-being of a mother. But
100% agree. I work in an office full of women, so we're very supportive and I love it.
I love that. I love support. I love when women support women. That's like my favorite thing in the entire world.
Being in an office full of women, it's so much more like less stressful.
It is, but it also depends what kind of women you work with.
True. I take that back.
Because sometimes,
Can't say that.
exactly. I've had experiences to where I've worked in an office full of women and it was all catty all the time. But then I've also experienced an office full of women and all these women are so supportive. So it's all depending on the people that you work with.
I think that's what has helped me with deployment is having my job and then having the routine of my toddler, going out on walks, hanging out with neighbors on weekends or friends. It makes a difference and it makes deployments run a little smoother.
That's amazing. I'm so glad that you have that support system.
I'm so blessed because it is hard to, when you first start off in the military community, it's hard to kind of like figure out who your people are, where to look, how
Mm-hmm.
to like rule out the bad ones.
I've definitely had my shared experience, and I'm sure that you have. And I'm sure that all of our beautiful male spouses listening to us have had
Oh
their
yeah.
shared experience. I know that you've experienced multiple deployments, and I know that you've experienced your pregnancy mostly alone. So when did it hit you like, oh crap, I'm doing this alone? And how did that hit you?
The first couple of days, I feel like they kind of feel normal because I'm so used to duty days.
Mm-hmm.
At first, it just feels like a normal underway or like a duty day or whatever. Then it starts getting to the point where, okay, we're like 2 weeks in. I'm starting to get physically exhausted because I'm
Yeah.
solo parenting and my toddler loves to walk around. You know, it's physically a lot. And so that's one thing that humbles me is okay, I'm solo parenting. But then also when he doesn't have Wi Fi and I can't talk to him and I
Yeah.
can't tell him what's going on or he won't be able to respond to me and help calm me down. That's when I'm like, okay, I need to learn how to self regulate now. I can't depend on him to be there and calm me down. And that's where the learning about yourself and learning yourself through motherhood and learning yourself just through being a military spouse completely because you're like, I have to juggle so many things right now. How do I do it? That's the thing about it is like you get up and you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the day, you go to bed and you're like, thank you, God. But then you have so many moms and dads that are solo parenting for the rest of their
Same.
life. I feel for them because I'm like, I get a glimpse of it for like 6 to 8 months.
I think they are literally superheroes. Single
Literally.
parenting, like single moms, single dads are the superheroes of all parents. They're doing everything, most of them, no help, no caretakers, no family, no nothing, no financial, nothing. They're just doing everything by themselves and they just have themselves to rely on to take care of little humans. And I think that's so underrated and so underappreciated. And I think it's just so amazing.
I think they probably have one of the biggest hearts
I know.
of
I'm
all
gonna cry.
people.
Shut up.
Just imagine like having the heart to still be so soft with your kid, knowing that you're doing it all alone and you're not getting the credit for it. Because most of the time they don't. They go about their
Exactly.
day because that's what they have to do.
That's what they have to do. I think that there's such a bad rep when it comes to single parents. Well, single mothers, dads get recognition, you know? I've
Like, oh my
seen,
gosh, how
yeah,
cute.
exactly. Even though that's very admirable within itself, I feel like single moms should deserve the same type of admiration, if not a lot more.
Push them out. Who kept them in their room for 9 months?
I feel like women in general get such a bad rep when they don't necessarily fit society's mold. So, what does a normal day look like for you now?
My daily routine, I mean, so I wake up like I wake up at 4:30 every day because I start work at
Oh yeah.
5 a.m. because technically I work East Coast hours because I work
Girl.
for a East Coast company.
I'm
So
so
I start
jealous.
work I work remotely from home full time
Mhm, mhm.
and I start work at 5 and I end at around like 1:30.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you have the best schedule
I have
ever.
ideal. mother schedule.
Oh, you literally have the best schedule in the end. Like when we first talked, I was like, you what? You would Monday through Friday at 5 a.m., even though 5 a.m. is a bit early, but who cares? You're getting out at like 1 p.m.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, can I apply?
Yeah. No, it worked out. But once you're PCS, then I'm gonna have to get used to the whole 8 to 4:30 again.
How do you stay centered and grounded when you feel exhausted and you're missing your partner?
Typically, what I would do is I am really into photography and like taking videos. So like sometimes if I miss him particularly, I'll look at our old like videos and
Mm,
photos or like the photos that I have hanging around the house because that's the whole reason why I hung up our family photos.
that's so sweet.
And also because we've pretty much did a long distance relationship our whole life up until when we got married and moved in together. I have all of his audios saved pretty much, even the ones that he would send me
Aww.
like on deployment or underways. And I just replay them sometimes, like as if I'm talking to him, just listening to him. Sometimes I'll take my daughter on a walk because that's something that we used to do together. Things that we would do together, like I'll try to do them. Or what I used to do, I used to spray his cologne on his sweatshirts and put it like on the other side, like where he sleeps.
Yeah.
And that would help me sleep at night sometimes when I would feel like restless. But it's hard because you miss them every day because you don't realize the impact that they have on the family up until when they leave. Then you're like, okay, wow, the house is so empty.
Yeah.
But I think he does a really great job of being present as much as he can, even when
Yeah,
he
of
is away on
course.
deployment, which I appreciate.
That's amazing. And that goes back to our conversation of having a really good partner.
Mm-hmm.
A partner that takes your feelings into consideration, even though that should be like the bare minimum. You would think that that would be the bare minimum, but there's so many people out there, men and women, that are so focused on themselves that they forget that they have another person that is equally affected by their emotions.
Marriage in itself is a compromise. Like
It
that's
is.
that's what it is, girl. Like people forget that sometimes.
It is. It's a compromise. It's not. So one of the most important things I would say about being married is making sure that you like the person because you can love somebody. You can love
Yeah,
somebody and not like them. You have to make sure that you like the person that they are. If you have a child, would you be happy and glad that that child reminds you of them? You know what I mean? You have to like them. And I feel like some people get into relationships, they don't really like their partner, but they love their partner and they think that that's enough, but usually it doesn't necessarily end up well. So when you like your partner, you end up being willing to compromise because you like them and love them and you see yourself with them. So that's such a big thing.
I agree though. Now, don't get me wrong though. Even if you do have a good partner, you're still gonna have hardships as especially with your first deployment, no one knows what they're expecting. Like you hear the stories, but until it really happens to you, you don't know what it's like.
Yep.
So sometimes when you're at the end of it, it just really starts getting to the point where everyone's irritated, you're stressed,
Yep.
you be over. And then when they come back to that's something else that's hard because for 6 to 11 months, you're used to your own routine. They're used
Hmm.
to their own routine on the ship. And then they come back and you have to reintegrate. But this is a lifetime thing. Like this isn't just once and done. Like, especially
Right.
if I want to do the full 20, my husband, that's a whole lifetime. So you
Hmm.
need to make sure that communication is top notch because most of the time on deployment, you're not even going to communicate. So you need to be okay with not hearing from them.
Hmm.
You also, be confident that they're not cheating on you because a lot of times it's like, a lot of spouses kind of freak out when they don't hear from them. They think something happened. It's like, no, that's just their job.
Also, ladies, it's okay to crash out.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
okay to
If you have
crash
that gut
out.
instinct to crash out, by all means, crash.
Okay, let's just say that you're having a really intense day to where I am so emotionally vulnerable right now. It's okay to crash out, just not at your partner.
No, no, because that's also
It's
something that's
okay.
very important.
Exactly. It's okay to crash out, go on a run, yell at your stuffed animal, have a really deep conversation with your best friend. Like let it out in a healthy way. Go to kickboxing, join martial arts.
I literally said that to my husband a couple of weeks ago. I was like, honestly, I really wish I could get into boxing. Because
Yes.
if
Oh
I
my
had a
God.
babysitter, I would so get into boxing. That would make me feel 10 times better.
Oh my God. Yes. No, whenever Dominic was deployed, I took kickboxing, but I took my mom.
Period.
Yeah, my mom and I we were doing kickboxing
Like,
together.
mom
It
would
was
kick ass, so is my mom.
But yeah, it's okay to crash out in healthy ways. But if you do feel as though your partner's not necessarily being truthful, you should definitely confront that, but in a very healthy way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all human. We're trying our
Mm-hmm.
best.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the crash out, totally, it's great to do with healthy coping mechanisms.
Exactly.
That's really important to do also when your spouse is on deployment, finding hobbies to do, venting out physically, because
Mm-hmm.
that's important to keeping a healthy relationship. If you start taking it out on them, then they'll get even more stressed out. They'll take it out
Yeah.
on you, and then it's just a back and forth. And
Yeah.
you miss them. Like, there's really, you shouldn't be fighting.
Exactly. You're a team at the end of the day. Like at the end of the day, you're a
Absolutely.
team. It's not you against each other. It's you guys against the problem. And the problem is that you guys miss each other. And that's
The
okay.
problem is the military.
The problem is the military and that they took our spouses away.
Care packages are so
Oh my
important too.
God.
I just
Yes.
sent our first one out. They're so important because one, it gets you excited. You know, you get to personalize it, make it cute, make it personal. And
Mm-hmm.
then they also really love it because they're on a vessel for X amount of months with food that
Exactly.
probably tastes like crap and,
Mm-hmm.
not their usual comforts. So they really appreciate it too when you send them that.
Yeah. So this is a really good learning opportunity. How did you went to the post office and did all that stuff for the care packages?
Okay, so this is what I would recommend to someone that is now starting to do their research on deployments and care packages. If you go to USPS.com online, they have a specific, it's called a military kit, and it's free. Like they will literally send it to your house free of charge. And it's just like a set of flat rate boxes along with tape and everything you need to send out care packages, basically. And that's what I did. I ordered it and I got them because I wanted to make sure I had the right boxes. I decorated it, I filled it up. I would definitely check with your spouse about certain things that you can and can't put in the box because I'm sure there are some restrictions, but the basic stuff like obviously deodorant and snacks and stuff like candy, that's okay. Uh, I don't know about perfumes and stuff like that, but when you go to the post office, obviously make sure it's taped up and everything. And then they'll give you a custom form.
Mm-hmm.
And on that custom form, you have to write your name and address, their name and address, which your spouse should have a specific address for the ship. And then you have to write down pretty much what's in the box, how much it
Mm-hmm.
is, the
Mm-hmm.
quantity. And then that's pretty much it. You pay, and then usually it gets there like, I want to say a month after.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the worst part, which I wouldn't recommend putting chocolate and stuff like that. Or
Perishables.
yeah, yeah, perishable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. When he deployed for the first time, I had no idea about anything when it came to care packages. So I literally got Home Depot boxes. Home Depot boxes like the biggest. And I literally jacked it out. I remember one time for Valentine's Day, I think it was February, decorated it like Deadpool themed.
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
and it was all hearts and it was Deadpool going like this. And it was the cutest. I think I still have a picture, but it was the
That's so
cutest thing.
cool.
And then it shoved a whole bunch of different shit. But I also used to send him custom things. This was a long deployment. I hadn't seen him in forever.
11 months, girl. Yeah.
Girl, it was literally a year.
I
A
don't know how
year.
you did that.
I don't know how I did it either. I just loved him so much. I don't know, girl. But actually, you know what? You know what really helped? My friends and my family and my sisters. They were so supportive. My best friend and her fiance, they were my rock the whole entire time. They are literally family.
It's a matter of having a good support system and just in general, people around you that
Mhm.
understand your lifestyle. Because if they don't
Exactly.
understand it, there's really nothing much you can do.
If you're having negative thoughts, as in the what ifs, all of the what ifs that could be happening, because it's normal to have negative thoughts when your spouse is away, right? It's good to have people that ground you and they center you and they bring you back to reality.
Oh, yeah. I definitely understand that because especially when I was pregnant and I was going through all the different hormones and I was super scared that I would have to give birth by myself because I'm
Mhm.
also away from all of my friends and family. So my
Mhm.
mom had to fly in when I gave birth just in case because I needed somebody.
Right, of course.
And I got a little story about the care package real quick because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go
deployment,
back. Let's go back.
last deployment,
Uh-huh.
I had sent only one care package and it was
A
when I
Home
was
Depot box.
I had gotten the boxes and I sent it in August, right? Because I was like, worst case scenario, if he doesn't come for the birth, he'll get a box. Well, when they accepted his leave, by the time he came, like by the time I went to go grab him from the airport, his package had arrived onto the ship. And
Are you
basically,
kidding
long
me?
story short, someone stole the box. Someone stole the care package. Yeah,
Wow. They probably needed it more than your spouse at that
that's what I
point.
keep telling myself.
Yeah, because maybe what if they were like, okay, the scenario number one, the good scenario, is that they're single, they don't really have a support system. Let's just say they don't have a family, their parents passed away, and they don't have, they don't have anyone. And so that care package was the light of their life right then and there. Scenario number two, they were just a piece of crap, and they just don't.
At least leave the card for him. Don't throw it away.
Oh my God, imagine. Oh yeah, like this card is for me. They just cross out
Like,
your husband's name.
imagine opening it, seeing a Polaroid of the person's pregnant wife,
Oh my God.
and
Wait,
you're
was it
telling me
like,
you're gonna, yeah, put a Polaroid in the picture or in the
was it
card.
it wasn't spicy, was it?
Oh, no, no, I could never because
Okay. Oh my
I'm
God.
smarter than that.
Okay, good, good, good. I
I'm
was
like,
like, oh no,
no,
no.
no, no, but we found out who it was, and it was a girl. So tell me she needed it. That's
Wow.
okay. I hope she liked it.
Seeing in your face, you're literally like, I hope she likes it. Give me my husband. Oh my God, the next time you see her, you're gonna be like, give me my fucking snacks
The
and
crazy,
my Polaroid. Give me my Polaroid.
the crazy thing is, my husband found out who it was specifically, and I'm like, and you didn't beat her ass?
And you didn't tell her? You didn't tell her about herself? What the heck?
Anyways, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It's just
Chastity.
crazy to me.
No, but that sucks. What the heck? Stolen
I was
somebody's
so
care package.
sad.
At least keep it. At least keep it and give it to the person.
I was already going through hormones from postpartum, so I was just enraged. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
No, nobody should steal anybody's care packages.
No,
If you
literally.
like, that
If
is
you're a
so
female active
disrespectful.
duty member listening to this right now, please don't take other people's care packages.
If you're a female service member or if you're a male service member, if you're a high leadership, if you're an officer, if you're just another military spouse that so happened to find a care package, don't steal it.
Don't touch.
Like, don't touch it. Take it to your nearest post office and send it to where it needs to be sent. Or just put in lost and found, or give it to the person that's name is clearly on the care package. But
Please and thank you.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
That's okay. Like I said, she probably needed it more.
Yeah. So I know that we've talked about how great your community is over there. So who's been helping you throughout this experience? Like friends, family, other spouses? Or are you
Mostly,
doing it most of it by
mostly,
yourself?
mostly by myself because on a day-to-day basis, it is just me. I don't have a babysitter or a nanny or anything of that sort.
Hmm.
So I just pretty much did everything by myself. But I've learned, especially from last deployment, that it is okay to ask for help when you need it. So ever since I've started to do that, it has helped me a lot on the bad days to make them feel just a little bit less bad, whether it be going over to my neighbor's house to just hang out and have the kids play and crash out together.
I
Or
love that.
no, literally that's like a weekend thing, like every weekend.
I love that. When you have like
But it's good.
another, when you have another spouse that also has a kid that is also on the same deployment and you guys are just crashing out together, that's literally
Yeah.
the best combination.
Oh yeah. Well, luckily these friends of mine in particular, they were dual military, but now he's
Mm.
currently a stay-at-home dad at the moment, and then she's in at the moment, and they're shore
Oh,
duty right now. So like they're not going on deployments or anything.
oh heck yeah.
So I actually get both of them to help me because they have two kids.
Heck yeah, 2 for 1.
Yeah, yeah. No, but it is so helpful. Even just being able to sit there and talk to someone that knows about your lifestyle makes a difference. Because sometimes I'll talk to civilians and you know how it is. It's just they don't get it or
Yeah.
they just don't know how to be in that type of conversation.
One of the craziest things is that when you're literally like trying to vent, being like, yeah, this is really hard, he's deployed. One of the biggest things is like, oh, why would you put yourself through that? Well, you knew what you signed up for. First of all, you can beep, beep, beep.
First off, you can go back to your civilian job.
Exactly.
Like I said, there's pros and cons to literally everything. And just because they're in the military doesn't mean they're any less worthy of having a family or having someone that's loyal to them to stay home
Exactly.
and keep the fort down, per se. Like, why wouldn't I?
Exactly. And we didn't you can't help who you fall in love with. You really
No,
can't. You can't help it. And the fact that the comment saying, well, you knew what you signed up for. No. First of all, we knew in theory what we signed up for, but at the same time, if you don't go through it, you don't know what it's like. You do not know what it's like.
it's good to talk about things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to a civilian and you say whatever it is that you need to say off your chest, and that's the response you get, that's when you know, okay, that's not the type of support system I need. Because yes, I
Exactly.
knew military life is going to be hard, but that doesn't change the fact that I know we're capable of doing it because we're a good couple.
Exactly.
We have a strong marriage and we're going to make it work. I mean, why not? It's a sacrifice now, but it'll be a reward later.
They are worth it. Like
Yeah.
every step of the way, they are worth it.
And I will say, I really think that the military life does choose you sometimes because it's not for everybody. So for those who do stick around, you're the OG. But that doesn't mean
Exactly.
that we're any less worthy of venting or having hardships because that's just life in general.
Exactly.
It all depends on who you want to go through the hardships with. Like I personally, I wouldn't want to do life with anyone else other than my husband.
Exactly. It's really true that saying struggle is going to find you regardless, but you just
Hmm.
have to find the right person to struggle with,
Hmm.
right? They have to
Yeah,
be your peace. Because sometimes, I mean, like, it's still two different people trying to manage a life together. Two different people, two different mentalities, two different ways of doing things.
I notice is that couples that start off in the military usually are also really young. So like not only are you
Yeah.
navigating the military life, you're navigating a relationship period. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter your age, but like when you first start off a relationship, you're both learning something about each other, about yourselves. So I think it's amazing to see these military couples that start off so young,
You're
but
growing
they're just so
together.
strong that they just go through it together.
Yeah.
And then you see them just so beautifully matured, and they have their beautiful family, and they did it. I
Yeah.
think it's very inspirational.
I met this one couple, and this back before I was a military spouse, before everything. I met this one couple. They were family friends at one point. And when I asked the spouse, "Oh yeah, how did you guys meet and stuff like that?" She was like, "Oh, my dad was stationed in Germany and I was a civilian over there, and my husband, he was in the army." And we met in Germany. I was 18 and he was a bit older. I don't remember how old he was. I know he was in his, I would say mid 20s, so 23 or something like that. They met at a bar or something like that. And then literally a week after knowing each other, they decided to get married. And they've been together ever since. And they are literally the happiest couple I've ever met in my entire life. They are so in love with each other. It's insane. And they're in their late 40s now. They've been together for a long time. And also, ladies, he has to love you more.
Never have to wake up and be like, does he actually love me? But if you're waking up unhappy and you're like,
Yeah.
why is he treating me this way, or why don't I feel as loved as I want to feel, then that's where the communication comes in, and you have to talk about love language and all of that
Exactly.
stuff. And if they fix it and respect it, then great.
Yeah.
If not, though, I mean, you are also very important. This isn't just military lifestyle isn't just about the active duty member. It's also about the spouse.
Exactly. It has to do with both of you guys, right? Because both of you guys are navigating this life just in different aspects. So he's actually in the military, he's giving his life to the country, all these things. And then you have the spouse who's trying to revolve their life around this life. And how does my life look independently after I take your life into consideration?
And a lot of time when it's not done correctly, it does tend to end up in resentment certain times
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because it's just that's not fair. Like, why does my life have to revolve around your work?
Exactly. Why does my
And
life have to revolve around you?
for
Like
some
it's never
people, it's
about me.
fine, and for others, it's not. Like for me personally, I've never really had that issue identity thing because having my full-time job and then
Mm-hmm.
having my friends that are outside of the military community, I don't like to be around like military stuff 24/7. It reminds me
Yeah.
of deployment. It reminds me of certain things. So I try to distract myself sometimes from all
Yeah.
of that.
That's amazing to hear. That's super rare to hold your identity while you're still trying to navigate deployment life, military life. I know when I started being in this life, I really had to recalibrate and find my identity again because it wasn't because I lost it by being a military spouse. It's more of so like, okay, this is who I am now. How do I adjust?
It's such a crazy dynamic that like when someone hears military wife, they just think of someone who doesn't have to work because their husband gets BAH and a paycheck and everything. That's not the case most of the time.
Exactly.
We go through hardships just like any other type of family would.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, most of the time we're doing it solo because they're not
Absolutely.
here. So
Absolutely.
also something super important when it comes to deployments is when it comes to preparing for deployments, making sure that everything is legally set in place. And by that I mean if you guys are married and he's going on deployment, make sure you have power of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Because without that, let's just say, God forbid something happens and you need to do something that involves something of his or your guys's together, but your name isn't on it or you don't have power of attorney, it can get kind of complicated. If you have to
Clock
sell
it.
a house or if you have to sell a car or just anything in general that involves legal stuff, it's super important.
Or getting an apartment under their name because they're the ones that make enough, income to sustain the apartment.
Yeah.
Like little things like that, you would need that power of attorney for. I think that's so important as well. Just making sure that you have everything squared away before they leave.
That with the communication and just spending time together. before they leave.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes occasionally you can even make up certain code words because
Yeah.
sometimes, you'll have to email. And I've noticed that obviously their tone is different when they email versus when they have to text you, because obviously
Yeah.
with email.
Everything is
So,
monitored.
yeah, so it's nice to have some code words in there,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's totally doable.
Yeah, I
If you do it
agree.
the healthy way, it's so doable and you'll feel so much stronger,
Mm-hmm.
motivated,
Mm-hmm.
and just proud of you and your husband that you guys even went through that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Deployments don't necessarily have to be on a ship. One of the biggest things is to try to spend time together by FaceTime while watching a movie, if they have the ability to watch a movie. Make sure that you guys play iPhone games together. I think that quality time, long distance, is such a key factor in just keeping that connection flowing, especially when they're on long, long deployments.
I do agree with that. And with deployments, I feel like the first couple weeks start off slow, but then you start kind of
Hmm.
getting to the rhythm of things, and the next thing you know, they're back. So,
Yeah.
they always say it doesn't get any easier, but it also doesn't really get any harder either because
Exactly.
you just get used to it, and it
So
just
my husband used to always say,
uh,
days are long, but the weeks are short whenever
yeah.
he's deployed.
And it's true. I mean,
It
especially
is.
because they're just in the same room 24/7. They don't get to touch lands. They don't get to, especially sometimes on deployments, they don't even get to port.
No, they just
So
sit.
they just sit on the
Mm-hmm.
ocean, literally, until they come back. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes as spouses, when we're having trouble understanding them from their perspective, it's important to kind of like put ourselves in their shoes.
Hmm. So is there like a ritual or something that you do that allows you and your baby to stay connected to your spouse?
I
Good.
send my husband videos as much as I can. So, like,
Oh.
just earlier today, I sent him a video of our daughter. She was in her play area and she was watching Bluey. And just all of a sudden, she just started hysterically laughing. And I just took a video and I sent it to him because I'm sure he misses her laughs. It's simple stuff like that that I know he'll miss that kind of keeps him connected as if he was here just a regular day at work. Sometimes I'll send him audios so he can hear our
Mm.
voices. Rarely will we get a FaceTime.
Mm.
That's like a Christmas miracle right there.
I know that's so hard. That's so hard. Military spouses are literally one of the strongest people.
It just sucks because I really wish the world was just more of a kinder place,
Yeah,
because it really sucks when you hear about other people's stories. And obviously, we're all going through something. And it sucks that we're all kind of in our own little bubbles and we don't know that all the people around us are going through something. Like, especially when you're
exactly.
living in a military community, like you're constantly seeing people move in and move out of homes that, they grew their families in. Like, now that
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna PCS after this deployment, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to leave this house. Like, it's literally where I had my daughter. So
Yeah,
it's a new aspect of the military life that I have to get used to, like the leaving the first duty station. So that's gonna suck.
that's your first duty station?
Yeah,
Wow.
right after boot camp.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, and we
Oh,
we never imagined our life going the way it is, which is why I always like to remind military spouses, like, it may look uncertain, it may seem like you don't have control over the life, but it could go so much better than you could have ever imagined.
exactly.
Like,
Like,
we would have never thought that we would be able to live in San Diego for 4 years, let alone have a Cali baby. Like, what? I have a Cali baby? You know what I
exactly.
mean? So, you know, I like to just take it with a grain of salt and just take life at how it is.
Exactly. View life as a glass half full, not empty.
Exactly.
I think
All of
that's
that.
I think that's so crazy too, because a lot of us focus on what sucks about military life, but at the same time, there's so many amazing things. Like we get to move around every 3 to 4 years. Yeah, that kind of sucks in the retrospect of things. And yeah, right, moving sucks, but we get to explore different places. Like some of us live in Japan when they were born in like Kentucky. Like, did you think that growing up in Kentucky you were gonna live in Japan or South Korea? No.
No.
Like
And
it's an adventure. Like it's such a adventure. You know what I mean?
yeah, and if you really think about it, it humbles you in the way where it helps you not get attached to material stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I used to be very sentimental and physical things, like hoarding things that are sentimental.
Hoarding, buried alive.
That's how you know I'm 28.
Hoarding, buried alive.
No, but like I feel like the military life has definitely taught me to understand that my family is my home no matter where I am. I
Exactly.
shouldn't be sad leaving every duty station because it's normal,
It
but
is.
it just sucks. No,
It does suck leaving everything behind and then being the new person again, but at the same time, you get to explore so many different places that you never thought you would be in. I never thought that I'd be in freaking Texas. The hell? I didn't think that I was gonna be in Washington State in buck freak nowhere in Whidbey Island. I didn't think that I was gonna be there.
literally.
But I was down for the ride. I was down for the adventure. I'm such a FOMO person. Like,
Me
I have
too.
fear. Yeah, I'm like,
Me too.
what? You're going where I'm going right now.
Literally me postpartum when my husband was like, "Oh, we may stop in Japan," and I'm like, "Okay, but like, why can't I come?
Right.
Like,
I'm gonna buy a
why?
ticket right now.
Like, I'm over here with a 3-month-old. I'm like, great, you get to go and I don't.
Ugh, I'm so
Like,
jealous.
see? Like,
How
okay,
dare
sounds
you?
good.
Actually, don't leave the ship. You need to stay.
So you're ass in that office right now.
Exactly. Before somebody steals another care package.
You better not move.
Okay, okay, okay.
You better
Going
watch out
back
for roll
to
call.
up that part. Okay. So, shifting gears a little bit, what do you do for yourself during this time, like self-care wise?
Question.
She said, I just sit and loathe. I sit and
As the
fester.
Grinch would say, sit and loathe in my self-pity. No, no.
You're
So
all
let's
booked
see.
out.
Literally. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's see. What I love to do for myself. I do love to read. I've started reading again because I used to love reading and then obviously life got busy. You stop doing the things you love. And I'm like, no, I need to get back into it.
Hmm.
So I got into reading again. That's helped me a lot because
What
I
are you
get bored of
reading?
TV. Right now, I'm reading something that's called, I'm gonna say, it's called like a vacation in Italy or something. It's about an old woman that gets fired from her London job and she goes to Italy for a vacation and, ends up flirting with an Italian guy in the city
Oh my
in
God.
town, and she just
The Lizzie
realizes
McGuire movie.
basically, literally, so just with the old England woman. But
Oh,
anyways,
period.
I also love taking a everything shower once my daughter goes to bed. That changes my mood so
Ooh.
much. Being able to
Ooh.
just take a shower where no one needs me, no one's calling me, everyone's asleep, no one's making noise. I can put my lotion on, I can put my oils, I can put
Mm-hmm.
my hair mask, everything. It makes me feel good. And that's something that
Um,
I don't get to do often when I'm solo parenting or just in
yeah.
motherhood in general, like being able to feel good about yourself. It takes a
Mm-hmm.
while, especially because technically they say it does take up to 2 years to feel like yourself again. And it's true. You do definitely see yourself a little different after having a baby, which is both in a good and bad way, but it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely something to get used to.
That's a really interesting perspective.
So some people will get pregnancy, some people will hate it. I personally had trouble finding myself beautiful after postpartum, but I did feel the prettiest when I was pregnant.
You're glowing.
There was something in it that my skin, my face, I just looked better. I looked healthy.
Wait, did you have a gender reveal or did you find out after you gave birth?
No, I just did a private, intimate gender reveal at home
Oh.
with my husband. I went to the next with the envelope and I chose like 2 ski bracelets, like one pink and one blue. And I gave them the letter and I was like, wrap up, whatever is in the envelope. And then I just came home and after dinner we opened it up and I cried. I cried when I found out it was a girl.
Like happiness or?
At first, no, if I have to be honest. At first, I was crying more out of fear a little bit because I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting to be a girl mom and I was kind of scared to be a girl mom with just like my childhood and like everything in my past and my
Mm-hmm.
experience. I was
Mm-hmm.
a little hesitant and scared, but my husband reassured me all the time that I'd be a great girl mom and that everything's going to be okay. And as I went on with the pregnancy, I started feeling a lot more comfortable and confident that this is what it was meant to be. And now I don't see it any other way. Like I couldn't imagine myself having a boy. So I think it's crazy how life works because I never knew I needed a daughter up until when I had one.
I know my mom. My mom, when she had me, she was like, she tells me all the time. She says, like, you saved my life. I didn't know that I needed you. And I'm like, well, I didn't choose to be here.
Thanks, mom.
Thanks, mom. Married.
So important to have parents that do that, because then that is passing down just healthy
Yeah.
healthy behavior.
Yeah. Healthy
Those are
behavior for.
things that you'll be saying to your daughter or your son,
Mhm.
and just being able to show them love rather than the stressing that comes with parenting.
Exactly. No childhood is perfect. I don't care what anybody says. No
No,
childhood is perfect. Some are definitely more awful than others, right? But I think that just as long as you decide to be better than who raised you, I think that's the most important thing. Breaking cycles, breaking chains, and just being a better person for those around you and for the little humans you're raising. I
which
think
is why
that's
that's also super important for military lifestyle because the
exactly.
military lifestyle will also it can tend to have a negative effect on active duty members. So like let's just say
Exactly.
hypothetically, they start getting stressed out and they start drinking or,
Mm.
they start gambling or whatever negative coping mechanism you could think of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the military can lead them to do that and it just is a chain reaction.
It bleeds.
It triggers deeper things,
Mm-hmm.
causes even more issues that could then lead to permanent issues. So it's really important to take care of yourself.
So, with that being said, what's something you're working on for yourself during this deployment? So, a goal, a hobby, healing, anything.
Getting more steps in, for one,
Oh my God, me too.
because literally from working from home, it gets so hard trying to get my steps in.
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah,
I bought a little
actually,
treadmill and I look at it and I'm like,
speaking of, do you know that the app or so the store Dick's Sporting Goods, their app, if you connect it to your health stuff on your phone, if you get at least 10,000 steps in a day, I think they give you points. So
shut
it's getting
up.
to the point where you can get enough points to buy stuff.
Shut up. Are you serious?
But it has to be 10,000 steps a day or 2 to 3 miles a day. Run 2 to 3 miles a day. One of the two.
Holy shit. My husband would have gotten a full gym by now.
Other than the 10K steps, it would be to be more comfortable with being by myself. Because even though I'm used to it, I'm still not used to the silence part. I like to have adult
Mhm.
conversations. It makes me feel normal. So sometimes when I don't get that, it's rough. I got into this deployment a little scared because I was like, I'm not ready for this. He just came back. Why is he leaving again?
Yeah.
And I didn't fully enjoy homecoming because I knew that he had to leave again. So I was already preparing myself ever since he came back. But
Yeah.
I think moving is really important. Just getting your steps in in
Moving
the
around.
morning, working out, even if it's just doing chores in the house, just moving makes
Yeah.
all the difference.
I agree. I agree. Working out's a big one. Oh, I need to follow my own advice. But
You tell me. I can't even go to
oh
the
my
gym because
God.
I don't have a babysitter or anything. So I have to try to work out from home
Oh my
too.
God, Alessia, call me.
Dude,
Call me during the day. I'm gonna give you my phone number. Call me during the day and then we can be working from home doing our 10K steps together.
here's my Apple Watch. Can you just go where you're
Can
more?
you yeah, can you just go on your run, please? Okay. So, what's one piece of advice that you would give to a male spouse that their spouse just left for deployment?
Make sure to have grace with yourself because it is going to be rough. No one's going to sugarcoat it. But I think what's really important for a successful deployment is, again, the communication, the working on your identity other than being a military spouse, getting into hobbies, but just having grace with yourself because on the bad days, it's going to feel really bad. And sometimes you won't have that support system because that's just how life is.
Mhm.
So to better prepare yourself for those type of days where you really don't know where to run, just always remind yourself to have grace and to do something for yourself that kind of makes you happy. Think about your inner child, like what would he or she want that would make you feel better right now. And typically that will help. So whether it be
Exactly.
going for a walk or getting your favorite snack or your favorite fast food, I'm gonna make you feel better. And then usually after that, you'll be like, okay, it's not so bad. I can do it.
Yeah. Some days are going to be harder than others, but you just got to keep being consistent, choosing yourself. If you are having one of those days to where, it's just too much, confide in a friend. That always helps. Or go out with your friend. Go
Got
out with your
kids, right?
friend. Exactly. Go out
Girl,
with your
don't you
friends or
quit.
play dates. That's a good one.
Dates, yeah. If you have kids, play dates are great. If you're single, finding groups is great as well. Like finding groups where you
Mm-hmm.
can make friends doing things that you like.
Exactly.
Because I've met a lot
Absolutely.
of my friends here through that. I met one of my
Really?
best friends through her girls group that she founded a couple years ago. She doesn't do it as much now because she also has a toddler close to my
Mm,
daughter's age, so they grew up together. Um, but doing things like that, finding mommy and me groups. Now they're not always the best, but when you find a good one, it's so helpful. Just being able to have that friend that you can talk to and vent because also friends that don't have kids, sometimes they don't understand either.
exactly. Yeah, 100%. I got lucky with my best friend. She has a son and he's the coolest little guy ever. But she is super, I don't know how she balances it. Because whenever we met, she was 24 and I was 21. So I'm 27 right now. So we've been best friends for a really long time. And her son was two. But we would always hang out. Always, she would always invite me over. We would always have margarita nights. Obviously, it would be after his bedtime. But she would
Even
always
if it
just
wasn't,
exactly, even if it wasn't, but
you're
she would
at
always
home.
just
Okay.
exactly. I mean, I didn't have any kids, so obviously I went over to her house and I really didn't mind, but she was just so consistent in being such a great friend, and she still is to this day. Even if you are a mom and you have friends that don't have kids, make sure that they're the right vibe for you
Yeah. You feel seen and
and
loved
heard.
and heard
Uh-huh.
and just taken care of. They'll know how to take care
Exactly.
of you when you need it. Friendship's
Exactly.
always a two-way street.
Always.
I've had my fair share of
Mm,
one-sided friendships, and they're just not worth the time. Not worth
absolutely.
the
Oh my God.
time.
You have no idea how many one-sided friendships I've had throughout my life.
I think helps you understand how to actually look for a good friend. Look for all the good
Exactly.
qualities, see
Hmm.
the red flags. when they first come up because we don't got time to see them a second time.
Exactly. It is very important to be picky. Very important to be picky about your friends.
Your
Very
friends,
picky.
your husband, everything. It's important to be
Yup.
picky, ladies.
Exactly. There are 7 billion people around the world. I promise you, if Joe Schmo across the street is no good for you, I promise you that there's somebody else that's gonna fit the criteria that you deserve, Miss Ma'am. But
Period.
I feel like as a military spouse, it's really hard to make friends in general. And finding your set group of people could take about 6 months to a year. Don't be discouraged. I promise you, your people are coming. They're just not there yet. They haven't PCS there
Yeah.
yet, you
Yeah,
know?
literally. Literally. I met most of my neighbors 2 years after we moved in. Once we started having our dog and taking him out, that's when we met people.
Wow.
By
Because they were,
having our pets meet and even the kids, when you have kids play together. It's so easy to meet people, but it is hard to find bonds that truly last.
absolutely. In the civilian world, it's hard within itself as an adult. But finding friends as a military spouse and an adult who moves every 2 to 3, 4 years is hard.
Same.
But looking forward, what are you looking forward to doing the most when your spouse comes back? Besides,
Okay. No.
girl, besides that, because we all know it's on site. It's on
Um,
site, girl. Trust.
that's what anyone. I'm really excited to have someone to eat again with. Eating again, I mean, eating. So when you're on deployment, eating dinner can be so lonely. And it can be something so small. But for example, sometimes I don't even feel like eating because it's just me. Sometimes when they're gone, you notice the small things.
Yeah, like having dinner together,
Yeah.
watching a new show together, breathing the same
Cuddling.
air.
Up until when they start pissing you off, and then you're like, okay, you can go
Okay,
back
go
on the
in.
ship now.
You can go. You can leave again.
No, when's duty?
Wednesday, go away.
No, but I'm
So,
also really excited for this new chapter once we PCS.
yeah, with
Yeah.
integrate. Let's talk about integration. So, what's something that you do in order to make integration easier for the both of you?
So usually a little tradition that we do, or that we have, I guess, when he comes back from like long missions, we go out to dinner, we catch
Mm-hmm.
up, we talk. I usually try to let him decompress when he comes back. I
That's
think I
very
find
important.
my husband in particular, he likes to play video games.
Mm-hmm.
So I know sometimes like for him to decompress, he'll want to like play some video game, like talk to his friends.
Yeah.
So as much as I hate it, because it's always like an everyday thing,
Mm.
usually when it comes to coming back from deployment, I like to give him his space because he
Yeah.
hasn't had his space in a really long time. But not
Right.
saying like, oh, okay, I'm gonna leave you alone.
For weeks at a
No,
time.
letting them take control when they come back helps them
Yeah.
feel a little bit normal because if they come back and then trying to you're trying to force them into your routine, I found that that doesn't really work. You'll tend to
Yeah. Clash.
butt heads a lot because they're used to their own routine and making decisions for themselves. You're used to making decisions for you and the family. So it's like, okay, how do we coexist again? Most importantly, how do we coexist in a way where we both feel seen, heard, loved, respected, all of the
Yeah.
above? Because sometimes it may not feel like that when they're not doing something that you would want them to do. But it's not because
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to do it or they're not doing it. I think it's because they're so used to,
Doing their own thing.
yeah, they're so used to deployment that it takes them a while to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to be patient with them.
Yeah,
It just sucks
absolutely.
because you're like, why do I have to do that? I have a routine. I have kids. I have a family that needs to keep going. I can't. And it's true. Family and life don't stop just because they come
Right.
back. But I think it is important to give them grace too.
Take a pause, take a break, and just let them slowly reintegrate back into your lives and your routine. Because we all have to remember, we've been home, comfortable in our beds. Yeah, it sucks, they're gone. But they're mostly in a bunker, in a tent, in the
I mean,
desert,
if
in
you've
the
seen,
ocean. They've been in the middle of the desert. They've been deployed. That sucks. Being away from home, being away from everything that being away from family, being away from your kids, no phones, no Wi-Fi most of the time. The only thing you do is be bored on the ship, be bored on the field, work out, talk to the same seven people every day. That's gotta suck real bad. So whenever they come back, it's really important to just let them adjust.
and I feel like they have to try to fit into your
Mold.
routine right away, stresses them out even more. And sometimes as mothers, it is hard for us to put ourselves in our husband's shoes.
Yeah.
We're the default parent. We literally do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it is hard to do it. But once you do, it does help tremendously because you're like, okay, yes, I'm the default parent, but they also care about their kids too. Obviously, they obviously deserve the same thing, even though they're not the default parent. But
Yeah. It's also not their fault that they're always away. They'd be home all the time. They don't choose to go on deployments. They don't choose to go on underways. We have to remember that. They don't choose when they leave. They chose the career that they're in.
absolutely.
So, that
And
being said, you're PCSing. Oh my God, you're PCSing to the East Coast.
no, I feel
They're
like it's
going
such a
back
full circle
home.
moment.
Yeah, it's so rare. Oh my God, it's so rare to
Yeah,
get a duty station back home. Are you kidding me?
and
Mhm.
I'm not even from a place where
Wait, is
it's
this
a
New
crazy
Jersey or
military town. No, it's in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Totally. Imagine living in San Diego for 4 years and then having to go in the middle of dumb freak nowhere, Pennsylvania.
But you know what? You're back home. So who
Yeah,
cares?
I think I think it's gonna be so nice to have family around,
Yeah.
be able to finally have date nights.
Exactly, especially during hard times like these where he's deployed, he's away, you can just go to your mom's house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. It's a little no, but it's totally exciting because it'll be more relaxing, less city life, and now that we'll be shore duty, we'll definitely be able to take more trips.
Yeah, and enjoy family life.
Yeah, we definitely want to visit family in Italy because we haven't gotten to do that yet since we've been together.
Wow.
So our family haven't really seen us, our extended family haven't really seen us together. They've seen us separately, but not like together. And just being able to travel and do things that we weren't able to do during sea duty because we don't know when he's leaving.
Well, I'm so happy that you're going back home. That's literally such a dream for a lot of us, you know.
Yeah, especially
During the
with
holidays.
yeah, with holidays coming up and just in general having kids, having
Yeah,
family around.
because it really does take a village.
A good
It
one.
really a very good one. So I'm really happy and excited for you guys in this new chapter in your life. And when he does come back from deployment, do you have any sort of last words? Do you have last words?
Any last words before we start anything?
Before we wrap this up, do you have any advice for any military spouses that have gone through deployment or that are or that will be going through deployments?
Not some more advice because I feel in general we're women in general we're strong, so we can do it. It's more so of making sure you know how strong you are and being proud of yourself every day,
Yeah,
whether it's small or big wins. And take it with a grain of salt. With everything with the
absolutely.
military, and just take it with a grain of salt. Don't stop your life just because they're in the military. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. It's the best thing you could do for yourself, for your family, and for them because they don't want you just sitting and moping around. It doesn't help anybody.
Exactly. Exactly. Keep on moving, girl. Keep
Just keep
moving
on
forward.
moving. Like, you don't realize how strong you are until you get to the end. and you realize like, oh my God, I did it. Like we're already here.
Exactly. Keep moving forward. Just keep
Hmm.
moving. Thank you so much, Alessia, for coming on this episode of Base Buddies. And thank you for listening to our podcast. If you found value in this episode, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share with your fellow male spouses. We'll see you next time.